Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be trying to figure out one simple question. Is Modern Warfare 2 dying? And the reason why I'm going to lead the video off with that is because that's where the COD community always ends up going when you present information like this. If you present information that shows that the player count may be going down a little bit, they say, oh, the game's dying, the game's dead. You know, it's always like 0 to 100 with the COD community, and to be fair, content creators like myself are definitely like contributing to that narrative, but Modern Warfare 2 is not exactly doing as well as we would hope based on the information that we have available, though unfortunately the information that we have available isn't really all that great because it's only for one particular platform. So as you guys know, Modern Warfare 2 is out on the Xbox, it's out on PlayStation, and it's out on PC between two different platforms. You have Steam and you have Battle.net. Now, Steam is the only platform that we can actually see like accurate, detailed information in regards to how many people are playing the game. So take everything you hear in this video with a pinch of salt. It's not going to be exactly concrete information because we're gonna have to guess how many people are on Battle.net, how many people are on Xbox, how many people are on PlayStation. Like, we have information here that we can definitely derive some information from, but it's not the entire picture. So just keep that in mind going forward. So when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it was on October 28th. And as you guys can see right here, we had a little bit of a spike right there in the player base. Almost 250,000 people playing Modern Warfare 2 on the Steam platform. If we were to say the Battle.net has like, you know, if the PC player base is 50% Steam and 50% Battle.net, then that's like 500,000 people on PC on opening night right away. That's actually pretty good if you think about it. But the thing about this is, keep in mind, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, right? Both games are combined on the Steam platform, and as a result, we're talking about Modern Warfare 2 numbers as well as Warzone 2 numbers all thrown together. It's not like, you know, we're looking at just Warzone, we're not looking at just Modern Warfare, we're looking at both of them combined. The previous peak for people actually playing Modern Warfare 2, keep in mind this is before Warzone came out, was 262,000 players. Then after that, it kind of hovered around 200,000, and after a bit, it went below 200,000 until, for some reason, November 15th and November 16th. Well, what happened right here? Warzone 2 came out. So effectively, the previous peak was like 262,000. Now suddenly we have 452,000, adding an additional 200,000 players, which is effectively doubling the player base when Warzone 2 came out. That's actually pretty insane. The biggest day since launch was actually November 19th, when there was almost 500,000 players playing on Steam alone between Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Now, after that, the player count steadily started to decline over the course of the next month, but then it started to dip down pretty low, and then right here, it started to go back up again. But what happened? December 15th is when they actually had the free-to-play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, right? So what that caused is a number of players started playing the game because it was free. I imagine lots of people that were playing Warzone because it's free decided to actually try out Modern Warfare 2, maybe jump on shipment, level up their guns and stuff like that. So there's definitely a bit of an increase in the player base right here, peaking at 307,000. And then after that, it went right back down. It was actually December 19th, which was the last day of the event. And then right here is when the game is no longer free to play, and we instantly dropped back down below 200,000. After that, we kind of just coasted. But look at the dates here: Friday, December 23rd, Saturday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. And then we have Christmas Day, 175,000, 176,000, 169,000. Notice there's no Christmas jump right here at all. It just, the player base basically stayed the same. In fact, it started to go down. If you go back from the free event, when that ended on the 20th right here, the player base steadily declined more or less up until Christmas, where I suppose there was a little bit of a jump, like 3,000 people maybe, but on Christmas Day, people were probably busy, to be fair, but Christmas Day, it dropped back down to 175,000, and then it's kind of hovered there for a while, and then today, on January 2nd, it jumped up a little bit, but not too much. My theory behind this is I'm thinking that the player base is going to be going back up now that people are back home, they're done traveling, they're done with Christmas and New Year's and things like that. I think the player base is going to go back up a little bit. It's not going to be as low as it was right now, but the big takeaway from this for me personally is there was no Christmas bump. You know what I mean? Like, remember back in the day, they even would post things like this in Black Ops 2 talking about Christmas noobs and all the brand new players are going to be flooding the game on Christmas Day and the following days after, and that did not happen, at least on the Steam platform with Modern Warfare 2. Now, it is worth mentioning that Steam is a digital platform. Most people, I would say, nowadays get their games digitally, but this does seem to imply that on the PC platform anyway, there was no Christmas boost. Now, that may be different on console, because on console, lots of people still get physical media, right? They still actually buy physical discs for their consoles. Then, you know, they get those as Christmas gifts, and therefore there's going to be a little bit of a bump. But at least on the PC platform, there was not a bump. And looking at it overall, I think part of this is the fact that actual Call of Duty multiplayer is steadily declining thanks to Warzone 2. Again, going back to this right here, this is where Modern Warfare 2 was at launch. Like, you would think like the biggest time like for the game would be around launch, you know what I mean? That's when the most people are going to be getting the game. It was pretty solid, pretty consistent, mostly around 200,000 players, again, only on the Steam platform. But then when Warzone 2 came out, look at the difference here. Like, it spikes ridiculously, more than doubles from the day before. Like, there was 174,000 people playing right there, 416,000 people playing there when Warzone 2 came out, 452,000, 427,000, 473,000, up until the all-time peak, which you guys can see right here, of 488,897 players playing Modern Warfare 2 / Warzone 2 on Steam at the exact same time. Now, we have a bit more information to cover here when it comes to Steam charts. If we scroll down and ignore the advertisements, I don't have an ad blocker, I should probably get one, but as somebody who, like, you know, makes his living off of advertisements, I kind of like prefer to, you know, support websites and stuff like that. But in the last 30 days, it says they have lost 2.73% of their player base, which I'm wondering if that's only counting like what we see on like with January, because throughout December, the month of December, the month that you think that it would actually go up quite a bit, 20% of the player base went away. That's pretty scary if you think about it, right? Like 20% of your overall player base. And mind you, that's like 1 month into Warzone 2 being out. Like, we had Modern Warfare 2 released, the full game came out there. We have Spec Ops, campaign, multiplayer, DMZ, all of that. And then on top of that, you also have Warzone 2 releasing, along with everything that entails. And throughout that month, right after that happens, we lose 20% of our player base. That's because like a bunch of people started playing, then a bunch of people said, oh, now I'm kind of done. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is only one platform, right? It's just Steam. It doesn't even count Battle.net, does not count Xbox, does not count PlayStation. I would imagine there is a higher player count on Xbox and PlayStation, and I imagine there's a lot more outlying factors when it comes to like what kind of players play on certain platforms. Like, this is not me trying to be like a PC elitist or whatever, but I do feel like more hardcore players might play on PC because it's inherently more expensive and more complicated to get into as compared to just hopefully being able to find a PS5 or an Xbox Series and actually like just getting the console, popping your disc in and being able to play. Like, the barrier to entry on PC is a lot higher than console, therefore I assume like more hardcore people might be playing on there. And when it comes to console, which definitely has a lot more players than PC, I wonder how different the numbers are actually going to be. We're gonna have to wait for Activision to do one of their like end of year investor reports where of course they're going to try and talk everything up and make it sound like, you know, they're pissing sunshine and rainbows and stuff like that. Like, that's how they always go about things. But I'm interested to see what those numbers are going to be like, because at least on the Steam platform in the last month, 20% of the player base is just gone. And I wonder if that's also going to account for like I said, like if console players inherently might be a bit more casual, I feel like casual players are more likely to abandon the game as compared to, you know, people that maybe are more invested. I don't know. I really, you know, obviously I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass right now. I can't like prove any of these numbers, but if more casual players are on console and on like a more like dedicated system, you know, 20% of the player base goes away. Are we looking at 30% on console, 40% of the players going away on console? We don't know. I'm just, again, making stuff up. We don't have the accurate information, and I don't want to act like we do. I'm just suggesting that if we're losing 20% of our players on PC, on a platform like console, which likely has way more people, I imagine that we're losing even more than 20%, which is definitely cause for concern for the Call of Duty franchise. And I'm sure Activision Blizzard is paying very close attention to this. I'm sure Infinity Ward is paying very close attention to this. And like I talked about in yesterday's video, everything for Season 1 has already been released and revealed, and we have no information so far about what's going to be happening between now and Season 2. And if we're already losing that player base 1 month after after Warzone 2, roughly a month and a half after, the initial launch of Modern Warfare 2, if we're losing 20% of our player base, and now we have an entire month with essentially no content, at least no content that's been revealed, how much further is that going to go down? So this may actually force Activision's hand, this may force Infinity Ward's hand, or any of the other 3,000 developers working on this game, to try to push out new content and maybe rush out content that maybe isn't quite ready, but just for the very sake of having something new added to the game to get players excited and get players to want to log in again, because it does not look good to start the brand new year off with your game significantly declining. Presumably, based on the information that we currently have available. So there you guys have it. Is Modern Warfare 2 dying? I mean, it's losing players for sure, which is true of any game. No game is ever gonna release, have a peak player count and then maintain that peak player count forever. That just doesn't really happen. But if we go back to Modern Warfare 2 here, I mean, just on the Steam platform alone, there was 150,000 people actively playing on Steam, and the 24-hour peak was 164,000. That's pretty good, right? Considering that's only one half of the PC community. So if we double that, make that 300,000 across all PC, and then probably add easily another 700,000 between Xbox and PlayStation, we're looking at probably 1 million active players right now, just at any given point. So we'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out in terms of Modern Warfare 2 and its growth and or its decline over the course of the next 2 years, because of course this is rumored to be the 2-year COD that they're going to be supporting, which we've never really seen before. So definitely some uncharted territory, and I can't wait to see where it's going to go and what's going to happen. And I just want to make this video here today kind of presenting some of the limited information that we have, and hopefully drawing some conclusions from that, and just in general having a discussion about Modern Warfare 2 with you guys down there in the comments. But for right now, that is all for my video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on all of this information down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.